So you want to talk about budget verticals, do you? This is the new KinHank K36, available for $35. We really haven't talked about these budget verticals in a little while, not since the Budget King R36S, but we're gonna see, is it worth buying? I mean, I bought it because Band told me to, and it was purple and it's adorable, but it could be absolute e-waste. All right, let's hop in. What do we got today? The K36. Now, this is made as really a generic console. There are other brands that will be putting their name on this, but today we got the KinHank variant, 3326 chipset with the Mali G31 MP2 at 520 megahertz, so they say. Battery is a 3500 milliamp hour. This is the purple model, has Linux, of course, and there's 8 gigabytes of internal storage. Let's unbox this sucker. Okay, all right. Oh. Retro Tech Dad would like that. Look at that. Badonk. That is bold. I haven't seen a badonk like that since the old SZ Dyer M18. And these shoulder buttons, we'll have to take a look at that. Sloped, but you got clickiness. Some people would call this ergonomic, but when you're on a more compact device versus something a little bigger, you know, this kind of makes sense, I suppose. You're definitely, because it's wider, you're able to grip it with both your hands, and you have some space. Like this actually was a fairly ergonomic handheld in some regards, and this one is that's too cramped to be having a badonk that big. Down-firing speaker right there. 2 smaller sized Switch-style Joy-Cons. These are Hall joysticks this time. That means you won't have to deal with stick drift. Cool to see it come in on these budget handhelds. The D-pad it reminds me of the D-R35. You know, that other thing I never made a video on. It made me feel e-wasted. You know, you have some raised action on the D-pad. The travel's okay on it. It feels very, very loose, so we'll just have to see if it gives you decent control when you're gaming. Start and select, clicky right there, function button. Fairly standard ABXY. They're about the same size as the R36S, while being a little bit more circular. We gotta talk about the shoulder buttons. Yeah, these are loud. This is my biggest complaint probably on the device, besides the ergonomics so far. So I picked this up with my own money on AliExpress for $35. 3.5 feet? Oh no. Now that sounds like a more honest time measurement for this battery. That's probably on the low end. Depending on the efficiency and the power draw and all that, I mean, usually we see these come in between 4 to 6 hours, so 2 to 4, okay. At least they're saying what it is up front. I wouldn't probably use their card reader. These have corrupted my SD cards in the past. That's all well and good. It comes in transparent black, transparent purple, or warm gray. Cool. All right, now talking about the shell finish and feel, it is matte, medium quality plastic. It's not the highest quality I've felt, but I don't think you're going to get fingerprints on it or anything. It feels comparable to the R36S, although I think I like the plastic on here maybe a little bit better. I mean, they're very similar styles. You can definitely feel a step up in quality on the 353V, a little bit maybe thicker plastic there. Now, talking about the buttons and sticks, again, these being Hall joysticks, that will be interesting to see. They're smaller. I wonder if any of my tried and true Stubbs nubs fit on here. Now, these are too big. And we talked about the D-pad already. Ergonomics, despite, again, this being a bump out here for the Ergo, I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't feel like I'll be able to hold this for a long time. It just... yeah, it's awkward. Let's see. I mean, does that look comfortable to you? And then you're going to have to reach your thumbs. I mean, I feel like a praying mantis right now. Now, if a one hand, yeah, you can grab that pretty easily. 2 hands, even if you have a relaxed grip, you're not worrying about this so much. Now, size comparisons. 353V M18. All right, moment of truth. Let's turn it on. A little bit longer boot up time here. Now, KinHank has done a number of other products. I've reviewed a joystick arcade stick from them that you plug into a TV with EmuElec on it. And Zoo has done some hard drive videos from them. They have a range of products, but they're mainly known for their hard drives, which are filled with legally gray area ROMs. So they've included, 16,545 games on here. Dang. You got a pretty nice range on here. I mean, Dreamcast, Sega Saturn. I like that they included full access to RetroArch, which will allow you to really change up the settings how you want and configure everything. I don't think I've ever played this before. I did not know there was a Mega Man kart game. Dpad feels a little bit loose. Maybe a little sloppy. I'm not enjoying the ergonomics so much. You kind of have to hold my finger up here. It gets crampy back there. This is a cool game, though. That's what I really appreciate, though, about testing out so many of these systems, is that when they do include these oddball, maybe unknown ROMs or region ROMs that I haven't played before, I can just try them out for fun, and sometimes I find these really cool hidden gems. The IPS looks nice and crisp, though. I'm liking the colors and saturation. The speaker doesn't sound too bad. It's coming right at me through the bottom there. All right, so we're going to turn off this menu music, even though it's bumping. Not as good as the MSI Claw speaker. And I completely missed this from earlier. Oh my gosh, I'm getting rusty. There's volume up and down on the left. Up top, we have two USB-C there, and the DC power there. And so you should be able to plug in a Wi-Fi dongle, an adapter right there, and 3.5 headphone out up top. On the right side, we have a power button, reset button, micro SD on the right. Just one micro SD slot. Let's do a sleep test. Power, light stays on. So we have to wonder, is that a real sleep, or is that just turning the screen and speakers off? Screen quality, again, looks pretty nice. There's the lowest setting. Not as low as some of these others I've seen, XU Mini M, for instance. This does get fairly bright, though. Now, the 3326, we kind of know all the various bounds of what it can do, depending on the right scenario and the right components. Let's do a speaker noise test. Now, okay, maybe the lack of Wi-Fi, but there is no speaker noise from this one. Passes that test. For being a one-off, single mono downfiring speaker, it sounds pretty clear. You're not getting any bass in there. But the treble is well defined. Yeah, not too bad. Listen. For what it is, it's serviceable. You're not going to be enjoying game OSTs on this device or anything, but you're going to know what's going on, and you have your 3.5 headphone out. Here we go, another Contra test. Pivot to the right. Solid. Pivot to the left. Solid. Pivot into the right. And we're moving. Actually, okay. It's very loosey-goosey. I suppose what you're gonna have happen here, though, is you're gonna accidentally be doing things you don't want to do if you're not careful. It's so squishy, so loose. Leave me alone. This is just not comfortable over time. It's doing okay with Street Fighter. It's taking a little bit more focus on my end. Oh, I mean, there we go. We still won, but it's okay. The D-pad is okay. Oh no. Well, we're not getting full speed here. It's always a bummer when you get one of these out of the box. They choose to include games, sure, but a good portion of the catalog, just stuttery mess. The sticks, I think, are a highlight on this device. Yeah. Yeah, you pretty nice control. I like the joysticks. Nice. They are still a little small, and well, there's lots of debates on where placement is best on these verticals, but if you're going to include sticks, it seems like the consensus is keep them down here. Step prison shank simulator. Here we go. Okay. You're all full of blood. Okay. Oh, it's so loud. Shoulders are so loud. Why are we doing this? Yeah, see, I just don't have great control over the D-pad right now. And Game Boy Advance was stretched. But you can configure all your integer scaling settings to your heart's content in RetroArch. Ooh, Thomas Wave. I wonder if Dolphin Blue is going to run okay. This is a great arcade game. Oh, no. All right, well. Heat, though. Heat is good. The temps have been staying cool. You get a lot of space because of this bump out there to where you're not pushing on warm spots. Okay, the heat is up here, though. 89. 96. Temps, not too bad at all. You know what, everybody? We know what the 3326 can do. But we know what this chipset can do. I don't want to spend too much time game testing. I am curious about Sega Saturn. I expect Saturn to be a slideshow here. Again, curious why they included. Again, though, you know, you can not only take games off here, put on your own games, but you can probably try another firmware entirely besides this, with the chipset being compatible with so much, and we're getting some graphical glitches. I'm going to quit before we get any seizures going. But just throw your own games on there, you know, don't worry about all that. God. So N64, Dreamcast, Nintendo DS, and Saturn. Not amazing. All right, how about Burnout Legends? Yeah, the stick still feels good here. D-pad, not so much. In fact, this... Okay. Yeah, these are pretty sloppy controls. Looks like we have some frame skip that might be on as well. Ah! Oh yeah, there we go. Take a quick look at just a few retro games. SNES runs just fine. Does not look like there's any filters applied. Okay, what if I spread out my hands like that, like I have a claw, an MSI claw grip on this. I have an average device here so far. So I think I've seen enough. I don't know. I don't really feel like playing with it anymore. It is starting to get a little bit warm now. So let's take another reading. Okay, that makes sense. So we're jumping up in temps just a little bit. And kind of as expected, this is not moving the needle for us. This is not really hitting the mark. And so while I appreciate the enthusiasm of my friends, insert picture of Ban here. Love you, Ban. Thanks for sending me the Bibble and the T-Rex. But I don't think this is a winner. You wanted to know about it. You were dying to know about the K36. Let me tell you, it is definitely a handheld that you can purchase with money. For $35 USD, in the link in our description if you're interested. Let's talk about our likes and dislikes. Likes. I like that it's atomic purple. I like the shell, I like the matte plastic on it. I like that it doesn't get too warm. The sticks are pretty nice. I mean, they're Hall sticks. They're smaller, but they controlled fairly well in all the games I was playing. Solid sticks. Face buttons, likewise, respond well. Back buttons, I like that they're ergonomic. The speaker sounds pretty decent for a mono downfiring speaker. And the performance is about on par with what we see with this chipset. It's not amazing. It's not really a positive or a negative. It's kind of just, eh. I like the screen. I like the screen crispness, the screen colors. I really like the price. $35, definitely within impulse buy range. However, there are some things to be concerned about. Number one, I would say, is these bump outs. It's just not comfortable to play on. Those loud, clicky back buttons that are labeled upside down, I'm now just noticing. And not an ideal handheld to play in bed. It doesn't get crazy dim. You have this bright LED, which you could maybe tape over. The D-pad, not my favorite. The configuration of the system, including games, sure, but many games that don't work, systems that stutter or crash. This is a pretty ho-hum device. The only thing that really saves it is the price point. Maybe a gift for a friend or a loved one. They can boot it up and play many of the games. I would maybe tailor it for them a bit at that point. I would maybe delete a number of the games, just put on the systems that this plays well. But there's just so many options and better options, even at $35. Right around that price point, we're looking at the Powkiddy V10. 3326 done right. So good. And really the other one right at that price point is going to be the R36S. Now on here, the face buttons are worse. They're stiff. The D-pad has been known to be stiff as well. The sticks are your standard Switch sticks, but it's right around the same price. You have clicky back buttons. But the ergonomics, mainly, the ergonomics are just going to be better on this. It has a ribbed backing. It doesn't have a bump out. A little more standard design for that Game Boy style. Well supported. There's a lot of community interest in this one, so we're seeing just a lot of love and attention given to it. There's mods you can do to make the buttons feel more how you want. This one has been really popular, and honestly, for the price, still one that I recommend. In my last video, I said this has Wi-Fi. Let me make a correction. This one does not have Wi-Fi built in. Not have Wi-Fi built in. So again, you're going to be plugging in a dongle to get that functionality. Likewise, I believe you should be able to do that on here too. So I mean, this is basically this with really improved buttons, but take one step forward and a few steps back in my mind. Sure, they're sloped back buttons, but that bump out is just but the KinHank K36, not a recommend for me today, everybody. It's cool that KinHank is rebranding handhelds. Mate, what'll they rebrand next? Computer redesign. That's neat. If you want to step up to a much more quality device with the same sticks, layout, everything, I mean, the 353V is just still an awesome option. You can get the VS variant, which is going to have less RAM and only Linux on it, but it'll be closer to the price point. Quiet back buttons. They do a lot right here. There's some great custom firmware. My Stubbs nubs fit on here. Also available in the description. I mean, what more do you want? Stimulate your pancreas. Play some games. Enjoy your life. Well, everybody, that's going to do it for us today. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay in the know for all of your favorite retro handhelds. And a special thanks to our channel members, patrons, and subs for making this channel possible. Perks with RH start for as little as $3 a month. Join us in our Discord to chat and play games, and join me very shortly because I still need to talk about the Ally X and so many other things. Until the next time, this has been Stubbs. Take care of those handhelds, everybody, and each other.